Hey, wait. Before you skip ahead, just to let you know, you can actually watch the full version of this on our Patreon, and you can actually watch next week's episode a full week in advance. I mean, it's very easy. I mean, right down there in the description, or right up here in the corner. Feel free to give it a click, and we'll see you there. Alrighty then. What do you say, fellas? You ready for a brawl? You ready for a fight?
I hope they are.
Well, I hope so too, because they're going up against All Might.
It doesn't really matter if I'm ready or not. They better be.
Oh yeah, they better be ready because shit's gonna get crazy. I'm feeling because you got the two of the top heroes. You got Bakugo, who won the tournament, and then you got Midoriya, who a lot of people have said is the most improved hero. And you got them on a team going up against All Might, who is the top, the cream of the crop.
I have one thing that I'm expecting to come into play here that hasn't really had that big of an impact so far.
Okay.
The weights. The weights probably are the reason that a lot of them that have passed so far, but they haven't really focused on that reason as much. Because if you think about it, Mineta running from midnight just now, she probably could have easily caught up to him early enough to keep him within range of her.
Well, also, I think Mineta also attached her to the ground. I know he caught her whip, but we didn't really see it.
Yeah, but I mean, like when she was chasing him down, though, like
she probably could.
The only reason like his short little legs could actually take him at a speed to get away from her that quick is because of the fact that she was wearing weights.
Well, I think she was walking also to be intimidating because, as she stated, she was in
you
full
saw
predator mode.
Aizawa, still Naruto running across power lines with the weights on, so obviously they weren't that big of a deal on him.
No.
Remember when All Might said about the weights, though? He's like, we'll be putting half of our body weight on in weights. And, I mean, he's a very, very strong man, but he also looks like he weighs a lot.
Body weight at deflated form or inflated form?
I'm pretty sure it's at his full form. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
And so, I mean, his weights are going to be pretty heavy.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously he's very strong, but like it may have more of an impact on him just from, that little factor than it has on the other
I can
features.
see that.
That might give him just enough to be able to get around him because I mean his powers aren't like really like area covering and stuff. He's like a direct attacker, and there are two of them. One could slip by maybe.
Yes, even though All Might probably is fast enough to once he incapacitates one, he's able to catch up to the other. I mean, because Bakugo is very fast and he has a lot more agility with his ability than Midoriya, whereas Midoriya. Where he has 5% full cowl, he has more natural agility, but he's tied to the ground, whereas Bakugo can pretty much fly. Where if I'm them, I'm having Bakugo attack from on high, and I'm having Midoriya attack from the ground.
So if you think about it, too, the other teachers used strategies in which the weights wouldn't really affect what they did.
This is true.
So Mike just stood in front of the gates. Ecto stood in front of the gate. Principal stayed in the
the forklift
machine. Dozer dude, he's just kind of a machine to start with. So Cemental stood in one place.
Snipe as well. He was pretty much behind one pillar all the way up until he threw the smoke grenade out there.
Yeah, because they actually mentioned the weights on his duel. They were like, at least he has the weight, so he's not super fast. Like
that's true.
Otherwise, he probably could have run up on him and shot them both before.
That dude was like zipping around, like shooting. That would be terrifying.
He's like John Wick. He's like. Speaking of John Wick, we got a John Wick right here, or John Wick lookalike.
I don't know about that, but well, I mean,
you kind of do.
A little bit of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's what Hawaiian?
No, he's actually his mother is I think half Chinese.
Okay, so
both got a little
quarter Asian. Both got a little East Asian in us.
Yeah, you're both you're both a quarter on the map. So honestly, I I can't wait to see what this is going to be like. This is going to be interesting. But an interesting thing about this one is the title of this episode, Katsuki Bakugo Origin, Because last time we got one that said
are we
origin.
about to get gypped out of this whole thing for a Bakugo origin flashback?
No. Because keep in mind, Todoroki, we got his origin story, but it was short enough to where we still got to see him in that fight that was in that episode.
Yeah.
I think we're still going to get a good fight this episode, but we're going to see Bakugo go through sort of a existential crisis of recalling what led him to where he's at right now. Because we all have those moments. We all have those moments where we recall what led us to this moment, how it all came to be. Was there something I could have done different? Like me, I have those all the time. And I have one point in my life where if I would have decided to do something different, I probably wouldn't be hurting as much as I am right now from like my shoulder and my knee and my back pain as much. But that's, hey, the choices we make shape who we are, and I think that's what we're going to get here with Bakugo. And I think still we're going to see some of the battle as well. I don't think it'll get resolved this episode, but I think we're going to see a lot from this episode.
Well, let's see.
Oh yeah, let's see. Let's
つまりヴィランの戦闘能力を鑑みて戦うか逃げるかを選択するわけだけど、僕らの場合ヴィランはオールマイトで、オールマイトと戦うのは危険というか愚の骨頂だと思うから。って待ってよ、ガッチャン、ついてくんな。苦手意識が。でもそんなこと今は言ってらんない。
I have a suggestion, Midoriya. Let him get his ass kicked.
いくらハンデがあってもガッチャンがオールマイトに勝つなんて。
相手が誰だか分かってんのかい?
That's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of dude.
Do they realize who they're up against? Yeah, one of them does. The other one's just a jerk.
Here we go. Here we go. This kind of power. That's why you don't go head on against All Might. Because even with weights on his friggin' body, he can still generate this much power. He's gone full Sans mode. Run, man, run! Yeah, about that, Bakugo. What's that? Oh! Oh hell! You idiots!
片や打倒オールマイト、片や逃げの一手。逃げたい君にはこいつをプレゼントだ。
Ooh! Oh! Oh!
Grandma just got a speeding ticket.
4対1、絶対負けるって思うよな。でも見よ、ほらここ、こう避けてパンチと見せかけて、ほら勝っちゃった。
So they both took different inspirations from All Might. One with the sense of justice and the other one with the sense of defeating one's opponent.
君は絶対勝者であろうとするんだ。
だってまだいくらでも成長できるんだ。でもそれは力じゃない。黙れよオールマイト。あのクソの力が借りるくらいなら負けた方がまだ。
You know how fast you were going there, Mama?
Ooh!
負けた方がマシだなんて君が言うなよ。話せいいから話せってんだろうが。
超4、2人と喧嘩して勝っちゃった。
ヒーローは最後に必ず勝つんだぜ。諦めるなんて。
どう逃げ隠れても戦闘は避けられねえ。
でも戦いになんてならないよ。オールマイト相手に。
てめえ黙ってろぶっ殺すぞ。買っているのかな。どこを見てんだ。背後だった。
Where does...
てめえなんか
Did his other one break?
だけ。
Oh!
最大威力だ。
オールマイト。
Fire!
dislocated his shoulder.
逃げた戦闘の折衷案即席にしちゃいいじゃないか。
次もし追いつかれたら今度は俺のコテで吹っ飛ばす。
それで何を驚いてるんだ。
Yeah, about that.
早すぎる。
Oh. Knee of justice.
Oh, God. Beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
終わりだ。
ぶっ飛ばす。キリしねえが今の実力とじゃまだこんな勝ち方しかねえ。まさか走るねえ。死ね。
ニューハンプチャー。
Ouch.
He moved a bus.
あんたに勝てるはずなかったわ。
体育祭で見せた特大火力。
国立てそかせ。
ガッチャンならその隙を。
勝ち方ってそれすら構わねえなんて。
Damn.
どいてください。オールマイト。
Ooh. What a shot.
ガッチャン僕ってやつは。
まったく一人でゲートを抜けていればクリアできていたものを。そうだ、君はそういう人間だった。
They did it.
緑谷爆豪チーム条件達成。1年 A 組期末テスト。
なぜなら君も壁を前にしてよく笑う。そう、君たちはまだまだ強くなれる。
ちじゃあ連日あんたらの話で持ちきりだぜ。何かでけえことが始まるんじゃねえか。で
そいつらは写真で見てたが生で見ると気色悪いな。
You want to talk?
ステ様の仲間だよね。ねえ私も入れてよ。ヴィラン連合。
退けるたびに力を増して。
Damn.
There you go.
Well,
That was a cool episode.
that was a really good episode. I love that.
Dude, All Might knocked the crap out of those two.
You ain't kidding. He almost permanently damaged Midoriya's back, and he pretty much put Bakugo down to the point of where Bakugo was just so desperate to
Just like
fight a
biting his hand. I'm sorry, I know that's supposed to be serious, but that was funny as crap when
It
New Hampshire
was.
smashed and totally just like body checked him. Oh man,
That smash into the bus. Just like, oh.
it takes me back to my Godzilla versus the Smog Monster days, where it like takes off running and Godzilla just goes and like flies after it and tackles it out of the air. It's so corny.
or Godzilla versus Megalon. It was when Godzilla.
Oh, the drop kick.
Ran to
Yep.
the drop kick, floating with both. It was like the tail was guiding him.
Yep.
And both feet came and like drop
Yep.
kicked Megalon. And also Gigan as well.
Mhm.
Gigan was in that fight, and Jet Jaguar, who was helping Godzilla. I remember when Zach got that movie, I watched it and I was just like, "That's stupid but awesome."
I freaking love those movies, man.
Yeah. And also, just Bakugo's dedication to overcoming an obstacle. There's only so many times you can headbutt a wall before eventually your skull gives out. I mean, you have to take necessary paths to overcome something. You can't just force your way through on it.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting to see his motivation, but at the same time, it's like, why is he such a jerk about it, though, is what I don't understand.
My guess is, man, it literally goes back to him literally being praised up and down and never being given anything to make him humble. Because, as Kendrick Lamar said, sit down, be humble. Because... Well,
I mean, he did just get punched so hard he puked all over himself. So, that's got to be a little humbling.
Yeah, well, of course. But how he handled... But he's so late in the humbleness game that to him being humble is defeat.
Yeah.
In which, you remember who was like that? Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta. We thought it was so late in the game, but then all of a sudden, he discovered, you know what? I don't have to be an asshole all the time.
Well, to be fair though, he was like a full-blown villain. I mean, he like murdered planets of people.
Yeah, he destroyed planets. He killed a lot of people. And also, let's not forget, he also, I remember, I just keep going back to Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It's like, you remember Icarus? He did it. What? That's bullshit! I haven't killed a damn thing since I got on this godforsaken planet. Not from lack of trying, Mike.
Well, yeah, and plus, I mean, not saying that, Dragon Ball Z had great writing. I love Dragon Ball Z, but, Vegeta did kind of, survive the genocide of his entire species. So,
yes. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Bakugo doesn't have that weighing down on him. No, he doesn't have
that, but pride. Pride is a killer.
He's like, what, 15, 14, 15?
Yeah, 15, I think. 14, 15, around that. It's just, I worry about him going forward. I worry that he's probably...
This interactions and these give me like a little bit more replenished hope.
I hope so.
He's not going to go full villain at some point or something, but just the fact that he finally talked out a plan with Midoriya.
Yes.
And the fact that he took the initiative to be like, I will chuck you through the escape gate, because you think he would be the kind of one to be like, I'm not going to stay here while you escape. I'm going to beat this guy or something like that. But like, it's like he did a couple small things, and even though he's still being kind of a huge jerk, like he
did become much more reasonable after.
He showed a tiny bit of like development and growth there.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like after All Might grabs you by the face and just throws your head into the cement, it's kind of like, well, maybe I should calm down a little bit.
Yeah. Next thing you know, he's gonna wake up from in the nurse's office, and he's just gonna be like, Deku! Did we win? And Deku's just going to be there, like nursing his back. He's just going to be like, yeah, we won. It's like, good. I'm glad you made it through the gate. And he's like, yeah, totally made it through the gate. Alone. Totally didn't carry you to victory.
Yep.
What was that? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be pretty pissed when he finds out that he came back.
Yeah, watch the replay.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's just going to be like,
why'd you do that?
It's like, I just wanted to win.
You stupid idiot.
Oh, God. So,
It's like that was like the most unnecessary thing of all time right there, though, because All Might wasn't actually going to kill him or anything.
No.
It's like he literally did that entirely based off of like some false, like, pretense of like honor and justice, essentially.
Well,
it's
I mean, he did tell them though. He says, "Don't treat this like an exam." He's like, "The villain's here."
That's true, I guess.
So
he listened to him and he got completely into it to the point that he treated it like he would in a real situation.
I mean, keep in mind, Ida went sort of villain-esque, although he didn't go as far with it. Remember in the when him and Bakugo were tasked with being villains to protect the bomb, and he was up there at the bomb. He's like, I must think like a villain. That was still pretty funny. This right here, it's just All Might going too far, man. Well, not too far, but
I'm telling you, man,
them to their limits.
That dude would write his own grandmother's speeding ticket. I mean, he's
not wrong.
He's nuts.
You are not wrong, man.
Dude, like anybody, like I feel like if they get a chance to play a villain in a scenario when they aren't normally is going to have a little bit of fun with it.
Well, I mean, look at Nezu though. He was like,
Nezu was
like spilling tea all over himself. Like,
yeah,
like,
that was fantastic.
Whoa.
well, it's just like professional wrestling nowadays. Everybody wants to be the heel. No one wants to be the hero because heels get cheers. Heroes, that's just like Hangman Page. Like a lot of people were like pegging him to be like the next big like babyface hero, white meat babyface wrestler for AEW to take up the mantle as the champion. But they called an audible at the last minute and let Chris Jericho, who right now is the biggest a-hole in the wrestling business, win. Because people were starting to boo Hangman Page because they thought Hangman Page was going to be it's like, oh, he's going to be like AEW's John Cena. They're just going to keep giving him the belt because he's the hero. And
I mean, look at Loki in the MCU. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, this is true. Also, Thanos. A lot of people attribute Thanos as the best villain and also one of the best characters. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's doing awful, terrible, diabolical things, but make no mistake, he's the protagonist of Infinity War. Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of people don't get. He is the protag of Infinity War. And his plan and him executing his plan is the whole focal point of the film. And to him, he's doing right, even though to us, he's doing tremendous wrong. But to him, it is the greatest right that will ever be done. Which, when you think about it,
I'm sure Hitler thought the same thing.
No, well, yeah, and I'm sure so did Stalin, so did Mao, so did Pol Pot.
Most villains, I mean, they think that they're the good guy. I mean...
Yeah.
But you see, Hitler was a megalomaniac.
That's why I don't fully agree that he was like the protagonist.
Well, no, you see, but here's the thing about Thanos. He didn't want to do it. But because he saw the exact same thing like that was happening with our world happen to Titan, and every one he ever knew and loved died because of overpopulation and not enough resources and shit like that, he took no joy in doing what he did. He took no joy.
It doesn't really matter if he didn't take joy in it. It's just the fact that...
Well, Pol Pot took joy in killing 1.7 million people. Mao delighted in ridding religion from the highlands in China. Stalin delighted in being able to kill his opponents and send them to the gulags to work forever and die in the middle of the cold Siberian cold.
Well, I mean a lot of people in Ukraine, they just took all their grain and stuff, so they just starved. I mean, miserably over a long period.
They took their grain, they took their cattle, they took everything. And Thanos wasn't really seeking to make people suffer. He just wanted to snap his fingers and they would just cease to exist. Now, the suffering that those left behind would feel, he knew it would be a tremendous thing that, it would be a tremendous heartache, but he knew it had to be done. But again, that doesn't make what he's doing right. It's just the gumption and the willpower to do something like that. Go against the entire natural order of the universe and write it yourself the way you think it should be done, and take no joy in it. That takes a lot of willpower. I mean, it's as they said in the Harry Potter universe. Voldemort did great things. Not good, but great.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not necessarily that it takes a tremendous amount of willpower or anything. It takes you being, to an extent, unhinged.
To an extent, yes. When you witness the entire...
Not in the same way that, Bakugo is, unhinged.
Oh, no. But, no,
it's just that something has gone incorrectly with the mental process to essentially allow him to be like, this is okay for me to do.
Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, do unhinged people know they're unhinged? It's like...
Not really.
Because if you unhinge a cabinet door, it just starts calling itself a serving tray or something. It doesn't understand it's been unhinged.
I'm sure there have been people that have actually murdered people, like serial killers and shit, that were like, I don't enjoy doing this, but I think it needs to be done.
Well, dude, that's just like
it's like anybody that commits a crime ever. I mean,
this is gonna be. I don't know if this will be fully included, but just like the Catholic priests who did all those terrible things to those children, they actually talked to some of the priests and they said they took no joy in it, but because it happened to me, I felt it should happen to them.
Yikes.
No,
pretty
that was
fucked.
a legit. Those were legit interviews with these priests, and I'm just like, dude, what kind of messed up oligarchy do you have to be in to be that committed to a terrible act?
That's when I'd just be like, what's his face of Rick and Morty? Oh boy, here I go killing again.
Chromopulous Michael. If Chromopulous Michael wants someone dead, they're going to die. That's just a fact of life, Morty. But for now, we can have some fun with all these flurbos. You know what all these flurbos can do for us? Give us a fun evening at Blips and Chats. Sorry, I love that scene so much. All right, well, again, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you all enjoyed this. This is My Hero Academia, season 2, episode 24. Or no, 25, Katsuki Bakugo Origin. We hope that you enjoyed it. If you want to see the full versions of this, and if you want to see a week ahead, feel free to check out our Patreon down below. And also, if you want to head over to our Discord and have discussions with people who have seen this up to this point, feel free to do that as well. And I guess until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
Micah.
I'm Nick.
And we will see you all in the next one. Peace out.